Hello everyone, my name is Harshada. I'm a product manager at Visual Studio's debugging and profiling team. Today in this video of Copilot Everywhere, I'm going to be sharing how Copilot is seamlessly integrated at each and every step of your application development. Starting when you open your Visual Studio, it can help you discover new features and also do some quick searches. It can not just help you write and edit your code, but also help you learn and understand from it. When it comes to debugging, there are so many different ways it can help you identify and fix your issues and even help you with your failed tests. With profiling, it can definitely help you improve your code performance and optimize your code. And finally, when you're ready to push your changes, it can even help you with writing great PR descriptions and PR comments. So have you ever had a scenario when you saw your colleague or a friend using a cool feature and you wanted to try it on your own, but you don't know where to start from? Visual Studio's all-in-one search with Copilot can help you there. All you need to do here is go in your search menu and put any feature you wanted to learn more about. For example, I have this dependent breakpoint which I wanted to know more about. I can just do that and click on Ask Copilot button. And Copilot inside your Visual Studio will open this chat and provide you details about that particular feature, how to use that and how to implement it. But the best part is Ask Copilot has the context for your code. You can ask specific question on how you can use that particular feature for your code itself. Now we all know that the best use case for any AI assistance for a software developer is to help write and edit the code. And definitely Copilot and Visual Studio can help you do that with their code completions. But do you know you can also use Copilot to learn and understand from your code? For example, I am using this open source application, screen capturing application. When I opened it for the first time, it was pretty overwhelming for me to understand what the code is doing and how it's navigating. But all I had to do is I can just hover over any of the function and use this described with Copilot on the quick info tip. As soon as I do that, Copilot will give me a brief description what that function or a method is doing. Or in case if I have to go deeper down in my code, understanding my code, I can just do is select my code, right-click, and do Ask Copilot. And I can ask any questions related to my code. I'm just going to do, what is this code doing? And you will see Copilot will give me details about that code, how it's implemented, what is its signature, where it's called from, everything I need to understand that code in detail. Again, you can continue your conversation with Copilot in line within the chat in the editor, or if you wanted to go in the Copilot chat, you can do that as well with continuing chat option in the bottom. So when it comes to debugging, there are so many different ways Copilot can actually help you. It can help you write conditions for your conditional breakpoint or trace point. It can even help you figure out your non-breakpoint binding issues. And if you wanted to do some custom filtration in your Innumerable visualizer, it can also help you write complex link queries. For your async code, it can help you identify and fix the deadlocks, as well as provide a great app summarization as well. But one feature that I end up using most is exception assistance. Let me show you. So I'm going to continue my debugging here. And the very first thing I see is this exception helper dialog. But if you notice, I also have this Ask Copilot button on it. As soon as I click on this, Copilot will analyze my exception and provide me a detailed analysis on why this particular exception is happening. And in most of the cases, it will also provide with a possible solution fix. Now, looks like in this case, I haven't handled the nulls correctly in this section, and that is what Copilot is asking me to fix. I'm going to go ahead and preview my changes inside the editor, accept it. Okay, looks like it did not insert, so I'm just going to delete my old code, continue my debugging here. What I'm expected now that my application will run successfully and it will pop up on the screen. Okay, so it looks like I was able to load my application. Another very common scenario in debugging is variable analysis. So I'm going to go ahead here and capture a screenshot to show you that. I'm going to go ahead and capture a full screenshot here. Now, if you notice here in this capture rectangular method, the return value of this capture rectangle method is null. But as I captured a full screenshot, it should be a bitmap with all the rectangle bounds. Now, if I need to analyze this inline return value, all I have to do here is hover over this value, and in the tooltip, I have this option to analyze with Copilot. But not just that. While debugging, you can also analyze any of your variable values in autos, locals, data types, and watch windows by just hovering over it again. For example, in this locals window, I have the same variable for the bitmap or rectangle. I'm just going to hover over here and click on Analyze with Copilot. Again, as soon as I click on that, Copilot will analyze the values which are seeing for the variable and will provide me a detailed description why I'm seeing the value I'm seeing and how I can fix it. It will work together with you to get your expected value. I'm going to keep this bug here for my next demo though. So when it comes to testing, there are two different ways Copilot can actually help you. All you need to do here is right-click on your failed test, and you will see two options by Copilot: Explain failure with Copilot and Debug with Copilot. Explain failure with Copilot is very similar experience to exception analysis or variable analysis. What I want to show you here is a debug with Copilot. As soon as you click on that, Copilot will start placing some auto breakpoints in the code related to the failed test. If you notice here in the chat. And other thing it will do is it will also start a debugging session on its own. The debugging session will take a couple seconds, so let's wait for that. Okay, as you can see here, we are in the debug mode right now. I'm going to continue my debugging. And if you notice here in the chat, at each and every step of my debugging, Copilot provides details on what's happening. For example, it is telling me that the bounds which are coming for the rectangle are not correct. I'm going to continue debugging here. So if you notice here, Copilot actually provided me a correct solution. It is telling me that the width is coming 0, which is right. We can also see that here in the variables. It should be the width of my rectangle or my screen. But further continuing, Copilot should be able to provide a possible solution fix as well. As I mentioned, Copilot here provided a link which suggests a code fix. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now Copilot will analyze the failed test and the code related to that and maybe come up with a possible solution. Now, it is telling me that the screen bounds demo in this particular file here, I am not doing the rectangular bounds. I'm not defining them correctly or returning them correctly, and that's why I'm having this error. So what I'm going to go ahead is just going to copy this one line here. You can also preview the changes as we saw before, and gonna stop my debugging. And I'm going to rerun my test to see if the test came or got fixed or not. We also have an option to rerun the failed test in the chat itself. So I'm going to do that. It's, again, going to take a couple seconds for that. And our test is green, so we were able to successfully resolve the failed test with the help of Copilot. For my profiling demo, I'm using a different solution here. So what you're seeing here on this page is a CPU usage tool summary section. What I've done here is from the debug menu, launched a performance profiler, then run a CPU usage tool and collect some traces. I want you to focus on this top insight section here. In many scenarios, we have some predefined rule and you will get some top insights based on those predefined rules. Right now, we don't have anything, but what we have is this Ask Copilot button. As soon as I click on this Ask Copilot button, Copilot will analyze the code and will come up with some insights to optimize your code performance. If you notice here in the chat, it also provides a detailed summary of the insights as well. Copilot is working to request some insights, and if you notice here, we have some top insights provided by Copilot, which can help you optimize your code. If you wanted to go deeper down on any of these insights, you can just do Ask Copilot. I'm going to go do and figure out how I can reuse the directory to optimize my code by clicking this Ask Copilot button. As soon as I do that, you will see a source code view of your application. Let's give a second to load this. Okay. And if you notice here in the chat, Copilot also comes up with, again, a detailed analysis of that particular insight which we saw with a possible code fix. You can use this code fix and rerun your profiler to see if you optimized the code or improve the performance or not. In case if you wanted to go deeper down into the whole method where the performance issue is happening, you can also use this analyze method with Copilot as well to go much deeper down. Now, this is a super handy tool for any new profiling user to understand how code optimization work or how profiling can work for you to improve your code performance. But even if you're not a new user and a regular user, this will be very handy to just improve your code performance easily. Now, for the end, as I mentioned, Copilot can also help you write great PR description or great PR comments. We have a whole video dedicated for that by my colleague Simona. We'll find the link in the bottom in the description below. Those are all the demos I had for today. As I mentioned, Copilot is truly everywhere in Visual Studio to make your application development process as easy and as seamless as possible. And the best part is you can try out all these features for free with Copilot Free. So please give these features a try and let us know your feedback. Thank you so much for joining.